All right, today we're going to jump right into a really cool story of prophecy and sacrifice, all from a collaborative role-playing session. This is a modern vampire tale where, and I'm not kidding, the fate of an entire city is on the line. And the price of hope? Well, it might just be too high to pay. So, let me just ask you this right out of the gate. What price would you be willing to pay to stop a terrible future you knew was coming? That's the question at the heart of this story. And believe me, how these characters answer it, it tells you everything you need to know about them.
Okay, so the story kicks off with a group of vampires, or as they call themselves, the kindred. And they are haunted, seriously haunted, by this chilling vision they've had. They've seen a massive catastrophe that's supposed to go down at the local zoo, and they're the only ones who know it's coming.
So their solution? It's kind of nuts. They figure the only way to stop this disaster is to create an even bigger event somewhere else. They're going to throw a huge music festival, the idea being to create this massive gravitational pull of people and energy just to draw fate itself away from the zoo. But of course, it's never that easy, right? What starts out as a simple idea for a concert quickly gets complicated. The headliner they booked, the Indigo Girls, well, they start making a few, let's call them new demands.
And yeah, things just explode from there. All of a sudden, it's not just one stage. Now they need a whole separate stage for EDMX. They need to book 8 more bands. They got to figure out VIP tickets, holiday pay. It's not a concert anymore. Nope. This thing has become a full-blown festival.
And the cost? Wow, it's just staggering. Now, in this world, we're not just talking about money. For two of our main characters, Stefan and Zane, this is a devastating personal blow. They're essentially forced to liquidate a huge chunk of their personal power, their influence, everything they've built, just to fund this long shot. You can just feel the pressure and the absolute frustration boiling over here. I mean, they're trying to save the world, and all these little details are threatening to sink the entire plan. The stakes just keep getting higher and higher. So while all this chaos is happening on the outside with the festival, something else is going on inside each of our characters. With this much stress, that thin line between their humanity and their monstrous side starts to get real blurry.
You gotta understand, this is the central struggle for all kindred. It's this constant internal war against what they call the beast. It's that raw predatory instinct that's always there, always trying to take over and wipe out whatever humanity they have left.
And this is where things get really interesting, because we see two totally different ways of dealing with this. On one hand, you have Matt. He's looking for a guide because he truly believes that compassion, that caring for others, is the only thing that can keep him from becoming a monster. And on the other hand, you have Undertaker, who's way more pragmatic. He's literally in his workshop welding metal claws, preparing for a physical fight.
Okay, so while the group is putting out fires with the festival, the rest of the city isn't exactly sitting still. There are these other, really unsettling things starting to happen. Little whispers in the dark that suggest their vision of the zoo disaster might be just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. So you've got Undertaker. He heads down into the sewers, which is the traditional home of the Nosferatu clan. But what he finds is, well, nothing. The place is completely empty. It's not just quiet, it's unnaturally silent. So naturally, he tries to get a hold of his contact down there, Angela, but it's like hitting a brick wall. Her crew is just giving him the runaround, being super evasive. It's obvious someone doesn't want him asking questions. Something is definitely wrong.
Meanwhile, you've got Matt looking into the disappearance of a key political figure named Ava. But his search doesn't turn up a clue. It ends with this just chilling, psychic premonition.
Now, think about that for a second. The vision isn't that she's dead or in danger. It's that she's just gone, permanently, wiped off the board. It's a terrifying sign that some other power is out there, methodically removing pieces from the game. You know, with all this stress, Zane, who moonlights as DJ Turbo, decides he needs to blow off some steam. So he throws a huge party in this fancy hotel suite. But the night and the entire power dynamic of the city is about to take a very sharp turn.
Right when the party is in full swing, suddenly, the whole vibe just changes. Every single human in that room, it's like they're puppets on a string. They're all unconsciously drawn to look at the door as this figure with just immense power and presence walks in.
And this guest is Beyond, a Primogen, which basically means he's one of the most powerful and influential kindred in the entire city. And let me tell you, his arrival is not a friendly visit. It's a calculated move, a reminder to everyone in that room of who's really in charge.
All right, we're in the home stretch now. It's the night before the festival, less than 24 hours to go. The group gets together one last time in Undertaker's junkyard to figure out their final game plan for what might just be the most important night of their unlives.
So here it is, their last-ditch effort. They're splitting up, trying to cover all their bases. Matt and Joshua are going to stake out the zoo, the original Vision site. Stefan's going to be at the festival he poured his soul into. Undertaker's going to post up somewhere in the middle, ready to race to whichever spot blows up first. And Zane, he'll be on stage as DJ Turbo, the anchor for this whole insane distraction.
And that's where we leave them. After everything, all the money, the sacrifices, the risks, it all boils down to this one final, haunting question as the night begins. Did they actually manage to change the future? Or did they just move the bullseye?